University of Missouri St. Louis College of Education podcast. Hello and welcome. My name is David Stouffer and I get to be the recruitment coordinator for the UMSL College of Education. Each week on this podcast, we will meet an innovator in the field of education. We will spend some time getting to know them and learning about their work and how it can help you and yours. It is my sincere hope that this podcast will be a source of encouragement and support as you work to continue impacting lives as an educator. My guest today is Dr. Chanua Ross. Dr. Ross is currently the program producer coordinator for the Teach Residency Alternative Certification Program here at the University of Missouri St. Louis College of Education. Dr. Ross began her career as a teacher, instructional coach, and school administrator at the K-12 level and joined us here at UMSL in 2014. Dr. Ross, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dave.
It's great to have you here. I'm very excited to have you. I want to learn as much as we can a little bit about you and your journey and how you went from teacher to school administrator and now your position at UMSL. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you wound up here at UMSL.
Yeah, so I was one of those traditional folks who actually dreamed of becoming a teacher when I was very young. So I actually am an alum here at UMSL, and I earned my teaching degree in the mid to late 90s. And I began teaching right in the community in one of our local urban schools. And I served as a teacher an elementary teacher for a number of years before coming out of the classroom and serving as an instructional coach where I worked with other teachers, and then finally moved into my position as a school administrator at the elementary level. And then after 16 years of service to the community, I came to UMSL and I began actually working with student teachers before I, came into my role that I am in now. I came and I began working with student teachers and just really still out there supporting them in the classrooms, transforming their practices and just getting them ready to go. So I came on the back end of preparation. And so, and then I finally moved into the position that I'm in now, where I actually work in the Department of Professional Learning and Innovation, where I work with programs that provide innovative pathways to teaching. And so one of the programs that I direct and coordinate is the Teach Residency program. And I'll talk with you a little bit about that program today.
Sure. We're definitely going to talk about that. Before we jump in to talk about Teach Residency, and the way we use that to impact the education world. That program exists because of a true need that exists in our supporting schools. That's a real concern, and that's a teacher shortage, that we are finding more and more schools that need teachers and need help finding teachers. Talk a little bit about that in your experience working with schools and what's going on in education today that's become such a concern.
Mm-hmm. Well, it used to be that the teacher shortage was mainly in areas that were like high needs schools and areas, more urban school areas. But the shortage is across Missouri. It's all over. And then within the shortage of teachers, we have other shortages. So we have shortages of people that are coming into careers that are leading certification areas like special education or STEM teachers, early childhood. I never thought elementary teachers would be a shortage, but actually elementary teachers are listed as one of the shortage areas across Missouri. So, and then also we have a shortage of a diversified staff. Like we have a shortage of minority teachers in the field. So like there are shortages within the shortage, and it's really all over. So we're doing a number of things here at UMSL to address the field of teaching and hopefully fill these gaps that are out there.
Sure. How does Teach Residency, tell us a little bit about that program and how it exists to really help that issue of the teacher shortage and providing teachers for schools?
So our target audience with Teach Residency, we're really looking at folks they have a desire to become educators. They have already gone to school and received a bachelor's degree in some area, but for whatever reason, they've decided that that was not the area that they wanted to continue working, and that their passion really was for working with youth. And so this program is really targeting those who wish to teach while they're earning certification, and requires that they have a bachelor's degree when they enter the classroom. And so we definitely target that audience of that non-traditional type teacher, but we also target the audience of partnering school districts, because there are lots of school districts who have support staff, whether it's a long-term sub or if it's a paraprofessional that's in the classroom, that actually have earned degrees of some sort, but they're not serving in the role of teacher of record. And so we're partnering with districts who have these shortages, but they have these people that are committed and passionate about working with youth in their districts, and we're providing a pathway for certification that allows them to actually teach right now, immediately, while they're working on their certification with the Department of Education.
So if I heard you correctly, anyone with a bachelor's degree in any area, let's say I have a bachelor's degree in business, and within the last couple of years during the pandemic, I lost my job, or maybe the company I worked for went out of business, which is not an uncommon theme, sadly, in our world today. Would I be eligible to be part of the Teach Residency program, and how would I pursue that?
Yes. So I would say that, one, visit our website. If you go to UMSL's website, and if you go to the College of Education, we have a tutorial that'll take you right to this program for alternative certification. So I suggest that a person that's interested in this pathway start there. There are some eligibility requirements up front, as you mentioned and I mentioned. First, you must have obtained your bachelor's degree from an accredited university. You also must have a cumulative of at least 2.5 to 2.75 for your previous coursework, any previous coursework. And you must pass a Missouri content exam in whatever area that you're seeking certification. So if you are wanting to become an elementary teacher or serve as an elementary teacher right away, then you will need to pass that elementary Missouri content exam up front. And all of this information is on our website. Once we see that you have your bachelor's, you have the GPA that's stable, and that you have passed your content exam in the area in your sought area of certification, then we will share you with one of our partnering districts, and you can interview for a teaching position. And if you're hired, then we actually are able to get you provisionally certified through the Department of Education, and you will enter our program, which is a 2-year program that leads to initial certification.
It's amazing to know that exists in the midst of so many people looking for work. And how many people had always thought, well, I would have loved to have been a teacher, I just didn't do that when I was in college. Well, now here's the perfect opportunity to follow through on that goal and live that dream. You mentioned the GPA requirement, 2.5, 2.75. Why is that there? What is it about the GPA that's so important from previous college experience?
Well, this is a graduate level program. So one, we want to make sure that you're able to meet, perform at the level of a graduate program. So that's one piece of why the GPA is there. We also offer an option for you to, some people that choose this route to certification just would like to just work on certification. Others would like to work on their master's degree, which is just an additional 9 credit hours that's already woven into the program. So with you, if you're entering a master's degree program, we want to make sure that your GPA that you can perform at that level. And there are requirements for MED programs with the university. So we know that we can get you in to an MED program where you're working on your master's degree if you're at least at a 2.75. We know that we can get you into a non-degree certification pathway if you're at least at a 2.5. Again, this is a graduate level program.
Sure. That makes perfect sense. We want our students to have a chance to be successful, and certainly a GPA is a good way for us to gauge past success and predict future success. It sounds like the perfect candidate for this type of a program would be someone already working in a school district, maybe as a paraprofessional or a substitute teacher. They have their bachelor's degree and they kind of feel stuck because they never got their certification. So how does that work for them, and what can they do to take advantage of the Teach Residency program?
Absolutely. That is the target audience. And a lot of districts were already partnering with districts that are already looking for those folks in their districts that are working as paraprofessionals, or they're serving as a long-term sub in a classroom. And if that's someone that's out there who hasn't heard from their district, then yes, absolutely reach out to UMSL and ask to speak with someone about the Teach Residency program. And that's where we will actually work with you in getting you into that classroom or serving as teacher of record while you're working on earning that certification. So it has a lot of perks to the program. It's really convenient for you because it's offered online. And it's affordable. UMSL has a very affordable rate. Some districts even provide reimbursement, or some districts even fund these programs for their candidates. And it's 2 years, and so it's a fast-paced program that can get you to certification. It really leads to a full career in teaching. This is
just a remarkable program. I'm so proud to be part of something like this. I'm so proud to be a partner with you, Dr. Ross, to help provide opportunities for our school districts in and around our campus and around St. Louis. So thank you for the work you do, and thank you for your passion and the change that you're trying to affect in our education world. And thank you for being my guest today on our podcast.
Thank you.
I am honored that you chose to join me today for the University of Missouri St. Louis College of Education podcast. I hope you'll join me next time. Till then, I'm David Stouffer. Thank you for the work you do. Never forget, you are making a difference every day.